Hi everyone! In this video, I will be going over how to solve genetics problems. So, it doesn't really matter what type of genetics problem you may encounter, whether that be a monohybrid cross, a dihybrid cross, a sex-linked cross, etc., etc. If you follow these 6 very simple, easy steps, I assure you that you will solve any type of genetics problem with ease. With that being said, let's go over those 6 steps. Number 1 is to figure out what type of question is it, and does that affect anything. Number 2 is to state your genes as well as your alleles. Number 3 is to figure out what are the genotypes of the parents. Number 4 is to figure out what are the genotype of the gametes of the parents. Number 5 is to do a cross using a Punnett square. And finally, number 6 is to answer the question and make sure to read it very carefully. Alright, let's go ahead and do a practice problem using those 6 steps. So the first step is to figure out what type of question is this. In this case, we have a dihybrid cross. And we simply know that because we are dealing with 2 genes, one for fur color and another for fur length. Does this affect anything? The answer is no, not really. Because this is a dihybrid cross, we simply know that we will be dealing with 2 genes in our answer. Moving on, the second step is to state our genes as well as our alleles. Like I mentioned earlier, we have 2 genes in this question. The first is fur color, and we have that black fur is dominant over that for white fur. So I will represent the black fur as a big B and the white fur as a little b. The second gene that we have in this question is for fur length, and we have that short fur is dominant over that for long fur. So we can represent short fur as a big F, and we can represent long fur as a little f. The third step is to figure out the genotypes of the parents. For the male parent, we have a homozygous recessive for both genes, and so their genotype will be little b, little f, little f. For the female parent, we will have a heterozygous for both genes. Their genotype will be big B, big F, little f. The next step is to figure out the gametes of our parents' genotypes. For the male parent, we will have little b, little f, and for the female parent, we will have 4 different types. We will have big B, big F, big B, little f, little b, big F, and little b, little f. The fifth step is to do a cross using a Punnett square, and to do that, I will just move one of the gametes to the side. We can also go ahead and draw out our Punnett square here and fill it in. For the first offspring, we will have big B, big F, little f. For the second, we will have big B, little f, little f. And for the third, we will have little b, big F, little f. And for the last one, we will have little b, little f, little f. The last step is to answer our question, and that is what would be the phenotypic frequencies of the offspring of this cross. To help us format our answer properly, we can break down the phrase phenotypic frequencies. We know that phenotypic is derived from the word phenotype, which relates to the observable characteristics of an organism. As well, frequency simply just relates to the ratio of one thing to another, and it is formatted in decimals as well as commas. And so, if we put everything together, we know that our answer should have descriptions of the offspring as well as decimals and commas. Our final answer will then be 0.25 of the offspring will have black and short fur. Another 0.25 of the offspring will have black and long fur. Another 0.25 will have white and short fur. And finally, the last 0.25 will have white and long fur. And there you go. That is our final answer for this practice problem. And that's everything that I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If this video helped, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends. I wish you guys all of the best with your studies. Stay safe and have a good one.